What's up, everybody? My name is EmergencyTaco, and I am back from vacation, which is why I did not post for a while. And just at the start of this commentary, I'm going to say this. Kevin's in the room with me, and more than likely you will be hearing a random penis at some point during the next 7 minutes and 50 seconds of commentary. So, you gotta cope with that. But anyway, this is a Call of Duty 4 gameplay on shipment that I got, I don't know, a while ago, a week or two ago. Kevin, stop creaking the chair! Gah! And I didn't start recording. God, I'm so angry! Ugh! I didn't start recording in the middle, but the gameplay is just mediocre up to the middle, and pretty much throughout the entire thing, because I'm not Kevin, and I can't go 120 and 25 on shipment every game. But this had a couple of nice little streaks in it, and towards the end of the gameplay, I went like 40 and 7 on shipment, which is alright for me. It's kinda nice, pretty goodish, sort of, a little bit for me. But I also haven't posted Call of Duty in a while, and I love Call of Duty 4 more than any other Call of Duty game, and I love shipment more than any other Call of Duty map, so why the fuck not, right? Good. Okay. This is going to be the first episode in a little series I'm going to start on my channel called Stories from My Life. I told one story about my office adventures in a Pokemon hard mode, but this is going to be like me telling you weird anecdote-ish sort of things that happen in my life. Even though my life isn't very interesting and I hide in my room all day and play video games. That's not true, mostly. Sort of. Forget I just said that. It's kind of... Anyway. I went on a fishing trip. Which is where I was. On vacation. And in this fishing trip, we went fishing. I know, shocking. We didn't catch that many really big fish, or any really big fish for that matter. Actually, that's not true. We caught one decent-sized bass. I say we. My dad caught one decent-sized bass. It was about a bit over 3 pounds. I caught some smaller largemouth bass, and I actually managed to catch a 2-inch largemouth bass. I don't even know if that, like, qualifies as a largemouth bass, but whatever. It was like the size of my pointer finger. But whatever. Yes, that's right, Kevin. It was the size of your penis. But the fishing was not the problem here. We go out on a little rowboat, okay? There's a rowboat that we go out on, and it's got a motor, and we don't really row it, but shut the fuck up. So, we go out on this, we have to go to the farm down the road. There's a farm down the road. This commentary is ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to set the stage for you in the next 30 seconds. We have a house up in the woods. It was bought in like 1892, and it's got the same amount of technology as it had in 1892. It's got no electricity, no running water, the bathrooms are outside, and we cook over a wood-burning stove. The only electronics we have in there are a smoke detector and a landline, if you want to count that as an electronic, and we use kerosene lanterns. Okay. Our closest neighbor is a half-mile down the road, and then a mile down the road there's a farm, and at that farm we store our fishing gear and anything valuable because our house gets broken into like 4 times a year. I have a cough. So anyway, we store our boat there because last time we stored our boat, it was a canoe behind our house. It disappeared one winter, and when we found it during the spring, next spring, it was down the road about 1.5 miles, and somebody had dragged it along behind their car using it as a sled. And it was totally ripped to shit. But whatever. So anyway, we go there, we pick up the boat, we flip the boat over, we put it on, and my dad's like, hey Oliver, you want to drive? Oliver's my little brother, he's 13. And he's like, hey, you want to drive? Fine. Oliver's like, yeah, I want to drive, and I'm like, oh fucking god, I'm not going to sit in the car while my 13-year-old brother is driving. So my brother gets in the driver's seat, my dad gets in the passenger seat, and me, being the smart person I am, climbs in the boat that is being dragged behind the car that's being driven by a 13-year-old. So, we start driving down the road, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. It's like I'm in a boat, and I'm actually in a boat, but we're not on the water. And that's when the snakes came. And there were so many fucking snakes in this boat. I think the final tally was 6 snakes. And this is a 14-foot boat. So I'm driving along the road at about 15 to 20 to 30 or 180 miles an hour, whatever it was. And there are snakes all over the fucking boat. And I'm like, what the fuck? There's snakes in the fucking boat. And I'm like banging on the back of the car and I'm like, Dad, there's snakes in the boat. And he's like, oh, you'll be okay. And I'm like, no, I won't be okay. They're gonna eat me. Now, don't worry, they weren't more than like 12 or 13 inches long. But I was still convinced that I was going to become snake food. So we go and we go and we go and we drive home. And I jump out of the boat and I spend the next 10 minutes trying to get these garter snakes. Yeah, I know they were only garter snakes. They're not poisonous. Whatever. Out of the boat. And I'm picking them up by the tails and I'm throwing them across the lawn. I'm like, get out of my boat, you fucking psychopaths! And then, fast forward a little bit, onto another snake ordeal. We had to chop up some wood for fires. That's the end of the boat snake ordeal. We had to chop up some wood for some fires. And I was the one that my dad decided would be good to hold the wood in place while he chainsawed it in half. So, of course, me being the obedient fucking retard that I am, take the log, put it down, and hold it, while he comes at me with a chainsaw. And he cuts through it, and I'm like, oh, okay, good, you cut through it. And I grab the new severed log on either side, and there's something wriggling in my hand, and I look down, and there is half of a snake sticking out of the log. He had chainsawed the snake in half, and it's spewing snake blood all over me. And I'm like, ah! And I take the log, and I throw it into the woods. And that's the end of my snake ordeal. And then, 2 days later, we were fishing, and we came back to the car after we were done fishing, and my car wouldn't start. We drove my car up because my car is the only car that has a trailer hitch, and my car wouldn't start, and that's pretty much the end of my car. So I don't have a car anymore. It had like 194,814 miles on it when it died. So rest in peace, my 1995 Jeep 4x4. Anyway, that's the end of my story. That's the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you want me to continue this series, I will. Please leave a comment. I have been EmergencyTaco. Fuck you, snakes. And I am out. Time to go eat a burrito, which is contrary to my name.